We're going to take a look at Career Locker, which is a great website that will help students with college and career planning, ACT test preparation, building a resume, and has a lot of other great resources. To get there, you will go to Career Locker, and you can see up here on the screen, I have it typed in careerlocker.com. And to sign in, students will use their Waukesha West username and password that they use to get onto computers here at West. And so the username would be the first letter of the first name and the last name or a part of the last name, and then 000, whatever it is. And then the password is the ID. And you hit login, and that will take you to a page that will look like this. This is the home page of Career Locker. And I want to show you some of the key features that we think are most important of this website. And you can see you want to navigate by using the tabs up here at the top, right under the name here, and your name will show up right here. So if we start with, and we can see assessments, occupations, education, job seeking, budgeting, planning, activity book. We won't go through all of these tabs. But I want to show you some of the tabs here. The Assessments tab is a great place to start, and a lot of our students have already had some exposure to this and have taken assessments. But if you click on the Assessments tab, it'll show these different assessments here. The ones that I would really want to focus on would be the Wisconsin Career Assessment and the Personal Globe Inventory, as well as maybe the Learning Styles Inventory. But we'll focus right now on the Personal Globe Inventory. This is a great assessment to take if students are, it's a personality inventory really is what it is, and by taking it, students will get a readout that will look like this, and this is based on the Hollins codes, and it breaks it up into these different domains here: realistic, investigative, artistic, and so on. And the assessment is done by students will answer a series of questions asking them about their level of interest in different areas, career areas, and just general areas in life, and then their levels of confidence in these areas. And it will give them a readout based on the way they answer those questions. And what it'll also do is not only give them some feedback about their personality, or what this assessment would say about their personality, but also about how their personality is linked to certain careers. So I filled out the assessment, and I'm a school counselor, and that did show up on my list, so that's a good thing. So I know that my assessment was pretty accurate. But it'll give them this list that they can take a look at to explore careers that they maybe haven't thought about, or careers that they have thought about, to find out a little bit more about what those careers are all about. So that's one way to go about, first of all, finding for students to find out a little bit about themselves, and as well as some careers that may be a good fit for them. Students can also, if we go back up to the tabs, can browse occupations through the Occupations tab. And if you hit Browse Occupations, it allows you can look at careers based on by alpha, or even looking at just typing in, say, school counselor would take me directly to some information about school counselors. So there's different ways of getting to the occupations here. Again, you can go back through the assessments and take a look at the list that came up based on the assessment that you took and the careers that it matched you with, or going right to looking at the occupations. I'll have to type that back in again. And if we look through this this way of navigating, when school counselors pops up, and this would be true for any of the occupations in here, it gives, over on the left you can see these different tabs that we can click on. So it gives a description about kind of a general description about what school counselors do at a glance, so not a real in-depth description, but an overview. As well as it'll give an outlook. So what is the outlook for school counselors? Will there be jobs when students are graduating both high school, but most importantly college? You can take a look at the salary ranges in the Wisconsin, different areas in Wisconsin, all the way to nationwide. What can you expect to make as a school counselor or whatever the careers that you're looking at, all the way from entry level to median to experienced. You can look at different employers in this here in the state and then nationwide. There's a job openings tab to look at job openings as of right now for that career. There's also links to, if students are really interested in the career, they can check out these links to go more in depth to find out a little bit more about what school counselors do, can get linked up with some professional resources. Compared to my assessments, this tab over here on the left will compare the assessments that the students have taken. So you can pick the assessment that you want up here. So I'm going to pick the Personal Globe Inventory. That's the assessment that we were looking at. And it'll compare my level of interest and confidence to the levels of interest and confidence level of school counselors in the profession. So to give me a sense for, say, do I fit the profile of a school counselor? And it gives a good sense for students to see if they would be a good fit for that career. And there's also videos about for most of the careers. There's videos about the different professions. So that's one way of going and looking at occupations. I want to go back to the Education Path tab. So let's say that a student they're thinking about becoming a school counselor, but they're not sure how to get there. How do you go from where they are right now in high school to graduating from college with a school counseling degree? How do you get there? Well, if you click on the Education Path, it'll take you to helpful high school courses that students should be taking to get some exposure to what they would be doing in the future, majors and degrees that they would want to pursue in college. And now for when we're looking at, so we'll click on majors and degrees, so school counseling. And we can see that when we click on that tab that it says the minimum degree level is a master's degree. So we know that, and then this gives an overview of what the school counselor, what that major would be all about. So what could students expect when they're going to college and pursuing a major in school counseling? There's another tab for related occupations, so students can see what other occupations are out there that would be similar to school counseling. Training schools and colleges would be the next tab that they'd want to look at to see what schools offer school counseling as their major. Now we know that school counseling requires a master's degree, so we'd have to look at graduate schools for that. And it starts with schools here in Wisconsin. So whenever you're at whatever major you're looking at, it'll always start with Wisconsin first and show the schools, the colleges here and universities that have school counseling as a major. And then it'll go nationwide and look at state by state the colleges and universities that have that major. The other tabs on here, the job seeking tab has some great resources. The Resume Maker in particular is an awesome resource to help with students building a resume. And what this does is it allows them to put in their personal information, such as their academics, their extracurriculars, their community, the work they've done in the community, those types of things, and it'll build a resume for them. There's also a cover letter writer, information on the job interview, so how to prepare for a job interview. If we scroll over here, we have there's budgeting tools in here, and we'll because we don't have time to go in depth with all of these, we'll stick to the tabs that we looked at so far. But we encourage you to play around on this site. And one other quick thing that I want to show would be if we go back to the home page, I just clicked Career Locker here. And this is kind of an easy to miss section, but a really important section here that I want to point out. The ACT test prep. And if we click on this and you continue to scroll through, there's also a course for the SAT, and you can see some other exams here. But the big one, the ASVAB, the big one would be the ACT. And if students just continue to scroll through, there are partial and full-length ACT tests on this tab that are timed. We'll give students feedback. It's all free. It's paid for by the district. Students have access to this. So yeah, again, really encourage you to check this this site out, and it's a great way for students to start planning for their future.